Difficulties, but we are on the air and off and running, and Wagner has a 7-0 lead against Ryder. He's Matthias Wildman. My name is Keith Radd. This is NEC Front Row. And if you're just joining us, because you have to be just joining us, you just got on the air. Seahawks have a 7-0 lead. Amelia Christograves knocked down a 3 and has 5 total, who can work her way anywhere, including right there on the doorstep. Takahara lays it in.
This is a very experienced team too, and Takahara gives them that athleticism and that length and that corporate knowledge that you can just plug and play right away.
Schiffer with her head up, finds Toomey. Toomey down low to Toussaint. That's Takahara again on the defense. Toussaint, great size inside. That's a tough matchup for Wagner all day today. Sanchez Henry, always a spark off the bench. Losini's good hesitation, but skated the feet too much for a travel. Our officials today, Kathleen Lonergan, Nikesha Thompson, and Brandon Appel.
I'd be really interested to see how Lena Losini's game transforms now, because it's one thing to get going as a freshman. It's another thing now when you're near the top of that scouting report. She's averaging almost 13 points per game over her last 2. So how does her game develop with more pressure on her offensively?
Consistency, the name of the game. See what Losini's can do today. Again, she was just named Conference Rookie of the Week, so those big shoes to keep moving. Shot clock under 10. Schiffer, big three-point threat. Gives it off to Evans. Step back. Long 2 is buried in the corner by the senior. Lenasia Evans buries it. Evans with 3 points. Takahara had it blocked. And airballs the return. About 51 seconds left. Seahawks shooting 55% from the floor. They've held Ryder to 2 of 10. And held them scoreless from the three-point arc, which is another thing that Wagner does pretty amazingly. 4th best in the country in three-point defense. Holding teams to around 19% from the outside. Schiffer, a three-point shooter, going to have a tough matchup today. Toomey gets fouled. So Victoria Toomey gets to the free throw line, just 5 of 9 over 7 games with Ryder. We're this year in the MAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. That's the East Coast version of the MAC. There's MACtion in the Midwest, but this is our MAC, MAAC. Picked 5 out of 10 teams this year. Last year got to the semifinal. Toomey part of that. Junior center from Dunmore, Pennsylvania, misses the first. And the lefty free throw is good for big number 44.
It was that 2019 team for Ryder that went 26-4, 18-2 in conference. But of course, we all know how the 2020 season ended for most college teams, unfortunately.
There are a lot of teams that would love to have just that month of March or even a little bit of April if you're lucky back. Here's Cowan, makes an extra move. Ball popcorns around, picked up by Ryder under the basket. Bronx will move it ahead. Fireball with 5. Gets it to Schiffer. Schiffer looking for daylight. Misses it all. So the Seahawks put up 14 and hold Ryder to just 8 in the first 10 minutes of reading day from the Spiro Sports Center. Quarter number 2 coming up on Front Row.
Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
and experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds. and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Piero to the belt and delivers. With his third goal of the tournament. Shot! No! Levi Braxton is good at the buzzer. Would you?
Start of the second quarter. Amelia Christograva leading for the Seahawks at 5 points. Toussaint with 4 for Ryder, and a 6-point advantage for the Seahawks, who very quickly in this game we're starting to see TC, Terrell Coburn, mess around with this lineup a little bit, get some new personnel earlier in the game.
Yeah, and it's a good problem to have when you have so many different pieces to throw in a game, but it's certainly something you do have to figure out. We saw 11 different Seahawks enter the game in that first quarter, and no one played less than 3 minutes.
See what kind of adjustments Ryder makes at the break. Evans, step back, no good off the side of the rim, and a rebound for Losinese.
Losinese has been awesome defensively, too. We had Evans make that short jumper from the left corner, but there have been 3 really nice contests on one of the most dangerous players on this Ryder team.
Losinese at 5'10". She's got those long arms, can shoot from the outside. Tough to guard and tough defensively. Thibault looking for in the corner. That was tipped off of Evans. It'll stay with Wagner, but with just 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Last game saw Rakisha Ballinger play 1 single minute. Raven Pitt only played 3 minutes and kind of had everyone shuffled around. So maybe making up for some of that from last game.
Well, Budu's got it with 3. Back to Thibault. Z lets it go and misses everything on the air ball. Shot clock violation. Yeah, I wonder too for the Seahawks if that, you lose that Iona game, so it's a stretch about 6 days or so between games. Usually that's not a problem because the non-conference, you go on Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, that kind of thing. But maybe getting some fresh bodies in to taste game action. In the midst of what will turn out to be a very long homestand. 3-pointer is no good for Fireball. Fireball has had a struggling start to this contest. Scoreless. Here's Cowan using the big body. And an offensive foul called against Alex Cowan. Driving in too hard.
After those first 4 or 5 minutes in this game, things have gotten a little dicey on the offensive end for Wagner. Haven't really been able to get comfortable. Had Ryder in that straight man-to-man for the first 4 or 5 minutes. Wagner had no problem with that, and as soon as they've switched over to this 2-3 and 3-2 kind of switching in between zone, and Ryder's gone to a deep, experienced bench, it's been a whole different story.
Schiffer jumps into that 3-pointer. That's no good. And as Schiffer is 0 of 3 from the outside. Ryder, by the way, 2 of 15 from the floor. They have missed all 7 of their threes. Two minutes gone by in the second quarter. Yet to had a bucket. Thibault gets the switch, gets loose, and knocks down the jumper. Thibault with 3 points.
She's just so crafty in the pick and roll.
Fireball, no good either. Ryder going for that 3-point line. They certainly like to shoot threes. And only shooting it at 25%. And again, against Wagner, very difficult to knock him down at all. Losinese, that pure lefty stroke from straight away.
It's not like Wagner's really lighting the world on fire either at 30%. They got a lot cleaner looks, and that's what we saw in the second half of that Manhattan game. They shot less threes, only 1 less attempt, but they were smarter shots, and they hit them at a much higher clip.
Best tic-tac-toe offense for Ryder, but Toussaint cannot cash in. Fireball to Toomey to Toussaint. But a lid on the bucket right now for the Bronx. And on the other end, Alex Cowan fighting to get to the free throw line. So Alex Cowan gets into the charity stripe. Seahawks have had just one trip, Z Thibault. Wagner has a bit of a better free throw rate than Ryder getting to the line. About 34% free throw rate when they get there, shooting 71%. Cowan 10 of 15 from the line. First one no good. And again, Wagner in the midst of this, what's turned out to be, again, a homestand. They'll have St. John's on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That's a nice get. But then a very tough stretch, St. John's, and then at Rutgers and at Seton Hall. And so hoping that that tough schedule can be met with continuous good play. They've won 4 games in a row, potentially a 5th if they can get the job done today.
Kind of hard to find weak points in what this team has shown us through 6 games, too.
Fireball didn't want the 3. Driving into traffic, offensive foul. Cowan ended up on the ground. She got pushed. Ryder is 0 for 5 in the second quarter. They've turned the ball over 4 times total. You're right. I mean, the defensive side, it's one of those things coaches talk about. You could always travel with your defense, but that intensity is something that Terrell Colburn has tried to instill in this place, or continue to instill in this place from the years under Heather Jacobs. And teams feel it. You can just sense the frustration.
Good team stamina goes a long way.
Patrice Jackson's got to get rid of it. And a 3-second violation. She just spent too much time in the paint. Man, you touched on it earlier. The depth helps for that. When everybody can play and everyone can defend, you will find playing time.
When you look up and down this roster, and Lena Losanis is the only player outside of Kiki Ballinger, who again plays about 5 minutes a game, who wasn't here last season. This is just a team that knows how they want to play. And sure, this might be Terrell Colburn's first season, but he was on that bench, and it's not a completely new system.
Toussaint's got 6 points. She's the only one on Ryder with more than 1 basket made. That snaps a huge drought. About 4 minutes without a bucket to start the second quarter. Good ball movement for the Seahawks. Krista Grava has 2 threes today. She's knocking him down from the outside. Could you sense that coming?
A little bit, and I won't take credit for that because TC told us, you know, in a chat we had before the UNH game that he really felt like EKG's ability to stretch the floor could be a big thing coming.
Offensive foul. Ryder has no momentum right now. The Seahawks in this fairly well-packed 2 o'clock Tuesday gym are doing it on both ends right now. Shooting 60%, holding Ryder to 18%, 3 of 17.
And what did TC tell us? It was that EKG and Wabudu getting used to playing with each other, because those are 2 back-to-the-basket bigs that have a little bit of range but are under-the-hoop players.
Cowan knocks it down. Back-to-back made 3s for the Seahawks. 26-10. They have called it a 2 on the floor. And a travel called against Schiffer and Ryder. It'll take us to immediate timeout. Right now, Ryder reeling, and the Seahawks loving life, up by 15 at home. They lead 25-10. Back after this for the rest of the second quarter. A 25-10 lead for the Seahawks at home, taking on Ryder. The Ryder Bronx from Lawrenceville, New Jersey, out of the MAC. Seahawks with 4:54 left in this first half. Have played extremely well in the second quarter. Have not missed yet from the floor. 4 of 4, including 2 made 3s. And they might have a 3rd made 3. The officials are taking a look at the monitor because Alex Cowan had a jumper in the corner that on the floor was called a 2. Sky Table had it as a 2. And so they're going to take a look at the monitor. But outside of that made 3, I mean, go back to Amelia Krista Grava. She was only 1 of 4 from 3 coming in. And she's already looking pretty good 2 out of 3 today.
Well, you talked about this with Sanaya Thibault, right? Getting used to the system last season, her first year with Wagner. It's the same deal with Ken Wabudu, and you come in, and this was EKG's team coming in, so these are two teams that wanted, these two players, pardon me, that wanted to get used to playing with each other, and now you have that experience of EKG getting used to playing on the 3v3 team for Latvia, and that's something that TC told us is her exploring outside of the paint because she moves well and can shoot well, as we've seen. And you know, like you said, 1 of 4 coming in. And she said, you know what, let me try something out. We're playing basketball on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Let's get a little weird and go 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Big that can shoot just makes every opposing team want to pull their hair out of their head. They do call it a 2 on the floor, so Cowan's 2 stays at 2. Meanwhile, Sanchez-Henry missed the floater, and Ryder has it. 1 of 6 from the floor, and another turnover right now for the Bronx. And if you're a fan of Ryder watching this game, you're going, you know, they look so good against NJIT and Army, but some of those early struggles that they had turning the ball over and kind of mucky offense for the first 5 games are starting to rear its ugly head.
And it's no knock on either of those two teams too, but you can tell on the film the intensity is just different with this Wagner team.
Wabudu, no good. Rebound by Takahara keeps the possession alive. Mr. Grava travel. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, NJIT, their winning record. Army had a winning record. Ryder won both those games. But Wagner, secretly in the NEC, in the last few years, have been getting better and better. Made it to the championship game of the NEC. Lost to Mount St. Mary's, but were picked to finish second behind the Mount again this year. Ryder is certainly looking for a championship in 2021, 2022. And the lid remains on the basket for Ryder. Wabudu knocked it away. The Bronx will keep the possession. 20 on the shot clock.
Mount St. Mary's, too, has struggled a little bit to start this season.
That was a funny end of the year. That was during the COVID year where you played back-to-back conference games in the same building just to limit travel. The Seahawks' final 2 games of the regular season were against the Mount. They beat them twice on this floor. Felt good going into the championship game. And unfortunately just got trounced by a Mount team. Hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially a team that not too thrilled that you beat them twice in a row. They took it out on Wagner, but Seahawks got a taste of the championship game and no doubt may be back there again this year. Krista Grava finds Wabudu. That works for those 2 bigs down low. Talk about the duo. It's only 2 different players, 2 different skill sets. EKG stretches out even more to shoot 3s. Makes her much more dynamic and open things up for Kem. 3-pointer goes down. Finally for Fireball. That's her first make in 5 shots. Ryder needs her to get going to stay in this game. It's a 14-point Wagner lead. Losinese gets open. Five will push it. Rebound Takahara lays it in. Kate Takahara is always where you need her to be. She shows up again.
Rafaela Toussaint did a great job of anticipating where Wagner wanted to go with that ball, but again, it's that intensity, not giving up on the play.
Foul on the floor for the Seahawks. It's the second one, so Toomey is not going to shoot free throws. It'll be an inbound of the basket.
Just look at these numbers for Wagner. You talk about a team that scores well at 62 per game. They hold their opponent to 19% from beyond the arc. They defend well outside of that, and they're an exceptional rebounding team as well. They're third in the NEC in offensive rebound percentage. There just aren't any holes right now for this team.
Schiffer gets loose, draws the foul. So for the first time, we'll see Jessica Schiffer at the free throw line. Usually don't see her from 2 very often. She's at that outside 3-point threat. Schiffer, though, 9 of 10 when she gets to the free throw line. The Seahawks, you can tell the program had changed when Heather Jacobs, little by little, started to make her mark year after year, getting better and better. You started to see the changes in the conference, but then when you start to see changes in the non-conference, winning some of those games that you just wanted to get on the schedule, can we play you? Sure, but now you start winning those games. This year's schedule is, again, terrific. Ryder's a great program. Again, you got St. John's, Seton Hall coming up, Rutgers. I mean, you can't ask for a better test than that. And Wagner winning at least 5 of the first 6 games of this schedule. Losanese gets her own miss. Back to Wabudu. Kem wants the long 2. Line drive jumper, no good. Seahawks just 12 of 23, 52%. Ryder 2 of 8 in the second quarter. Schiffer just trying to do too much. Losanese dives forward a jump. Possession arrow points the way of the white and green.
Now we're seeing Raven Pitt back in the game. She had kind of fallen out of the rotation the last 2 games a little bit. Only played 3 minutes last game. Only had 3 minutes coming into this little stand she has here. But again, it's just a very crowded guard room right now, and kind of 1 to 3 positions and a lot of different options for Wagner.
Turnaround no good for Chris Sagrava. Amelia 3 for 7. Does have a team high 8 points, but missed that 2-point look. 90 seconds to go in the half. Ryder down by 15 points. Evans, good first step, and beats EKG to the cup. Evans with 5.
Good job by Evans to see that Wagner had slipped back into man and using her speed, get right to the glass.
Comes the double on Chris Sagrava. Losanese finds her. Scramble on the floor. Pick kicks it out. Here's Wabudu. And a whistle. And a 3-second violation called against the Seahawks. It's the second time Wagner's been called for a paint violation. Final minute of the first half. Seahawks looking for a staunch ending. And Ryder just looking for some kind of consistency. The ball has stuck a lot. 4 assists on 5 made baskets for Ryder, but 15 misses from the floor, 8 misses from the outside. They've been out-rebounded by 10. I think intensity is probably the number one word that you brought up that's kind of missing right now from Ryder.
And Ryder is just, they've been hurt on the glass to start the season pretty often. This hasn't been an outlier for them. -11 in a rebounding margin, and it's their inability to keep offensive possessions alive, because that can really wear on a team and frustrate them when you can win on the glass.
Fireball around a screen, no good. She had hit her last 3, but misses that one. Potentially the final Seahawks possession of the half. Cowan fouled. That's a reach-in foul, but an arm bar called against Fireball for a push.
They'd love to get Fireball going a little bit more here. You talk about what she can bring offensively, scoring. She shot 38% from the field last season. She's averaging around the same marker at 11 points per game, but it's been the streakiness. She's only shot over 40% twice this season. She had 6 threes against Columbia, but outside of that, 8 total.
Takahara, no good. And Fireball, the last game against Army in that victory, 17 points. Just 1 made 3 today from Michaela Fireball. 13-point game.
Your last name is that close to Fireball, too. You have to make do on it.
Schiffer, good. Second 3 of the first half for Ryder. That might have helped the Bronx a little bit, feel some confidence going into the break, but the Seahawks have to feel pretty good themselves, leading 29-19. And Matthias, you look at 48% from the floor, 3 of 4 from the outside, holding Ryder to what they did. TC's got to be pretty thrilled.
Yeah, he definitely does. But he could also be looking at this and say that the way that Wagner has played, this should probably be more than a 10-point lead for them. They got a little sloppy offensively. So at times that when Ryder was going into that zone, especially here in the second quarter with those 3-pointers that they made, they were able to really expand that zone and move their offense a little more comfortably. But I'm excited to see what kind of adjustments TC comes out with in this second half, because as we've seen in the couple games that we've done, is that he is really good at making those adjustments at halftime and those timeouts that he calls, especially in that Manhattan game, and just finding solutions.
So the Seahawks have a 29-19 lead at the break. We'll step aside, come back with the start of the second half right after this on NEC Front Row.
Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
And experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Piero to the belt and delivers. With his third goal of the tournament. Turning. Shot. No! Play by Braxton is good at the buzzer. Would you believe it? Allegro dumps inside. Eddie, another shot. She scores.
At Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
And experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
Back inside the Spiro Sports Center, about 2 minutes left before we kick off the second half between Wagner and Ryder. 29-19 advantage Seahawks, who come in at 5-1 on the season. Ryder, winners of 2 straight after starting the season 0-5. Matthias Wallman, Keith Rad with you on Reading Day from Staten Island. This is the only game right now on our NEC scoreboard. We do have 2 other games coming up later tonight. One of them pretty interesting, Mount St. Mary's. We talked about them in that first half. They are the defending NEC champions after defeating Wagner, and they have had a pretty interesting start to this 2021-22 season. They are now going to play their second-ranked opponent in their non-conference kind of rigmarole that they have started with. They lost to Maryland, the number 3 team, 98-57 earlier this season. They've lost 5 straight games, but they've been against some tough opponents. They have a Power 5 opponent in Clemson in there as well. They'll be taking on number 20 OSU. That is the Ohio State University at 7 p.m. tonight. That'll be played in Columbus. And then we have one other game coming up later. Farley Dickinson, who's 3-4 this season, taking on winless Delaware State, and that also at 7 o'clock. And that's about it, and all you would expect a Tuesday, middle of the week.
Well, and Reading Day, I wanted you to read something,
so
I'm glad you read the scoreboard for us as we get set for the second half between Wagner and Ryder. First time these 2 teams have met in 2 years, but before that they hadn't met in about 13 years, so it's nice to get this rivalry back and going because, again, Ryder out of the MAC. You'd love to schedule that MAC conference. Seahawks just beat Manhattan out of that conference last week and looking good against Ryder. So some of the scores first for Ryder, just 6 points from Rafaela Toussaint. She's leading the way with 6. Evans has 5. Schiffer 4, and just 3 from Fireball, 1 from Toomey. 6 made buckets today for Ryder. Meanwhile, double that for Wagner. They are 12 of 25. Krista Grava with 8. Losinese with 5. And then you have 5 other scorers: Wabudu, Takahara, Cowan, Thibault, and Sanchez Henry. So the Seahawks have done it offensively. They've held Ryder to just 19 points. But as you said, Matthias, you feel good, but maybe you could feel a little bit better after that first 20 minutes because the way it looked like the Seahawks should be up by a bigger margin than 10.
I think uninspiring is a little too harsh, but I really do think that this team is capable of playing a lot better. And 29 points at the half isn't too bad. They're halfway to their average per game, just about. But I know that TC probably got on them a little bit and wants them to really tune things up offensively, clean up some mistakes.
So Ryder will see what adjustments they make during the break. Toussaint, boy, Wabudu making life miserable, but Toussaint finds some daylight and lays it in. Great matchup between those 2 down low.
Toussaint, the reigning MAC player of the week, and she's just really crafty around the rim. Like you said, it's a heck of a matchup. I don't think Wabudu could have played it any better.
Zone defense for Ryder. Seahawks had a little trouble against it the first quarter. Here's Wabudu finding Drea Hayward. Hayward got fouled. Almost got the roll. Drea's got to work a little extra for these 2. So Hayward did not play too much in that first half, just 3 of the 20 minutes. He is a starter on this club for Terrell Colburn in her junior year. Not a seismic scorer. But one of those hustle players. Had 4 points last week in 18 minutes against Manhattan. Misses the first free throw. Now just 7 of 10 this year from the line.
Well, you look at this starting lineup, and I know we've had the same player start every game, but you've got to think that the only players that are locked in every single game are Thibault, Wabudu, and Krista Graven. Outside of that, maybe going to experiment with some few pieces here.
Ryder looking to make it 2 for 2 possessions to start the second half. Game is at single digits. That's where Ryder wants to keep it while they work out their own offensive kinks. Shot clock to 3. Fireball is 3, no good. And Wabudu pulls down her second rebound. On the glass, Seahawks out rebounding Ryder by 10. Cam looking to pass out of the paint. 15 in the shot clock. Thibault calling for a screen. Cowan, hesitation, runner no good. Rebound Wabudu. That rolls in for Cam. She's 3 for 6 from the floor. Lead back out to double figures. It's been as many as 17 points today for the Seahawks. Nice work down low to get Toomey loose. Her first field goal.
Been a little slow moving for Toomey the last couple of games as well, averaging about 3 points over the last 4 games. But like you said, good movement under the rim, got her free.
Krista Graba looking for a foul. Didn't get one. Here comes Ryder. 2 for 3 to start. Let's see Lynn Milligan coaching from a knee as her team shoots in front of her this half. Here's Evans taking Cowan to the cup. Matt rolls out. I'll tell you a little bit of Ryder today. It's been that kind of day for the Bronx. The timeout taken by Terrell Colburn. He's not happy. It'll take us to a immediate timeout on the floor. But out of the break, Riders outscored Wagner 4-2. We'll step aside. Back after this on NEC Front Row.
Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
And experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Back at the Spiro Sports Center on NEC Front Row with Matthias Weilman. My name is Keith Rad. The Seahawks still have the lead, but Ryder has taken this game to an 8-point contest. It looked a little bit better coming out of the gate, and Terrell Colburn, the Wagner head coach, called for a timeout. So out of the timeout, in the half court, Zenea Thibault finds a soft spot and drops it in. 5 points for Z Thibault. She's picked her spots well today.
Ryder has to show a little bit more kind of intent on stopping Thibault getting right to the charity stripe. It's one thing if you have your big standing right there in the 2-3 zone and they beat you that way, but if you let Z Thibault just get right to the line, that's the easiest way to beat that zone.
Seems to be her favorite spot on the floor, that free throw line. Not giving away any secrets, just watch the old film and see where she goes on those big shots. Brunches into the game. Lets the 3 go, but too late. So a shot clock violation. So on one side, you got Colburn calls a timeout. He gets a bucket, and then he gets a shot clock violation.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we talked about this after the Manhattan game, the fact that he called that timeout in the second quarter, I believe it was, and the game completely turned around, and he's just really good at knowing what to tell his team, and that comes with a lot of trust on both sides.
Well, Boudou down low to Hayward. It makes its way around to Thibault, but before that shot can make its way towards the basket. You have Lonergan calling another 3-second violation.
That's the third one we've seen on Wagner, at least.
They're trying to make their way through the paint, but hanging out for a little too long. Toussaint's inbound, knocked away by Campbell Boudou. Another out of bounds for Rafaela Toussaint, who has 8 points today to lead Ryder. And now Thibault almost brought it in. And now the officials will talk about it, and it will be Wagner's ball under the basket. That's the effort that Colburn's looking for from the Seahawks. Effort in those quiet parts of the game where you least expect it. Cowan now knocks it down. She's got 5 points. Here's Mobley. Errant shot. She earns a trip to the line. And it looks like Krista Grava with the harm. It's a foul on Cowan. So her second foul. Right now, Cowan and Hayward with 2 each. No real trouble for anybody else on the floor. Ryder Fireball has 2, but that's about it. So Mobley's first trip to the line. Out of Pennsylvania, not a huge scorer, but you'd love to take it when you can get it from Mobley. She has had 2 10-point games this year, but shoots just 31% from the floor, averages 5.
Yeah, well, Mobley has been a starter basically since she got to Ryder, and they moved her over to the bench now to try to experiment with some things. Ryder is dealing with a few injuries, but it's the size that they've more so gone to here when they went to Jessica Schiffer, who's got a little more size on Mobley, but Mobley fits in well with this bench unit and being that floor general.
Well, Boudou got fouled by Firebaugh. And if that is on number 24, it's again Firebaugh's 3rd foul. So again, that's the only Ryder player with any difficulty, foul trouble. Kim Boudou, her first trip to the free throw line. Seahawks have scored today by committee. Been 7 different scorers. Well, Boudou today, 6 points on 3 of 6. Krista Grava is the only one that's taken 8 shots. But they have spread it around really nicely today, and that is Wagner again at its best. You have Krista Grava, who in years past, games past, she'll score 25, 30 points if you need. But when Wagner's cooking, everybody's playing really well, little by little, as Wabudu drops in both to push it to a 12-point game.
Fireball staying on the floor with 3 fouls.
They need her. And she just shorted that 3-point attempt. Fireball is 1 of 7. She's that type of player, though, that dynamic player, like you said, that they need to keep on the floor to get back in this game. They've got it to as close as 8 in the second half, but Wagner is starting to pull away a little bit, find their offense again. Down to 10, looking for Wabudu, tipped on the way in. Mobley and Fireball come away with it for the Bronx. 5 minutes gone by, third quarter. Wagner outscoring Ryder 8-6 in this segment. Here's Strunk. Good pass for Evans, Lanesia Evans, another great take. She's a confident basketball player.
Kiki Ballinger got caught a little too aggressive on the wrong player. We've seen Lanesia Evans turn on the Jets a few times in this game.
Well, Boudou does like to pass out of the post, takes it herself and gets the roll. Kim with 10 for the Seahawks to lead the way. And now Ballinger making life difficult for Mobley, who just got it over the timeline with 2 seconds left on the 10-second clock back there.
That was a nice move, though.
It was pretty filthy. Fireball with it again. Mobley catch and shoot in rhythm. Missed everything. Now Mobley from the outside, just a 19% three-point shooter. She misses that. That takes us to another immediate timeout. Lead back to a dozen for the Seahawks at home, looking to win a 5th game in a row. 4:08 remaining in the third quarter. Seahawks lead 39-27. They have outscored Rider 10-8. Seahawks scored 14 in the first, 15 in the second, so they've stayed consistent in their offensive attack. Rider, though, with one of its better offensive quarters. Out of the media timeout, taken away by Eckerstadt. She had it and lost it, and now it's Strunk to keep it alive. So we've seen Brunches and Eckerstadt on the floor now for Rider. Trying to give a little length inside for the Bronx. Mobley running the offense. Rider in the half court set up. They're just 31% from the floor, 9 of 29 today. And they have missed 12 of 14 threes. And Ballinger called for the hand check at the top of the key, so a fresh 20 seconds for Rider. Jackson and Cowan come in for Wabudu and Kiki Ballinger.
I know she committed the foul there, but think about how late Rider had to wait until they got into their offensive set. There were 7 seconds left. It's even hard to get it over midcourt.
Inbound goes to Strunk, and Emily got hacked. So the freshman from East Stroudsburg, 1,000-point scorer in high school, still looking to make her way with Rider. She'll get to the free throw line for the first time. Strunk and Madison Johnson, who has not played at all this year, both 1,000-point scorers brought in by Lynn Milligan right out of high school. You can see Strunk's got that great size. We say you can't teach 6 foot tall. She's 6'2", and she goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So just getting her college career started. 10-point game again, 3:20 to go, third quarter.
They've been exploring a little bit with Strunk as well. Double-digit minutes now in 4 of the last 5 games after barely playing to start the season.
Patrice Jackson makes a move, gets cut off, and that's taken away by Eckerstedt. She's also 6'2", number 15 in the maroon. Fireball thought about a 3, takes it herself, and lays it in. Fireball with 5 points now on 2 of 9. Both Fireball and Toussaint, preseason all-conference players. Toussaint today 8, Fireball 5. Just not enough right now. Rider needs more out of those two. Rosinese to Jackson. Cowan wide open for 3. Got it. First made 3 from Alex Cowan.
Textbook way to exploit having numbers when you're playing against man-to-man. That time you get into the paint, you have a 4-on-3, you split the difference. You know the defender has to do that. And Alex Cowan cashing in.
Nice pass into the post, too, from Jackson to pump fake. Drew a defender. I don't think she meant to pump fake, but it worked out. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Fireball. Back-to-back takes. Left side of the cup, that side of the right side of the cup. You can tell Fireball knows, all right, maybe my three-point line isn't open up today. Drive these players to the basket. Seahawks have led the whole way. Thibault, good pass to Krista Grab, a little behind her though. EKG missed the layup. Mobley with her head up. Finds Eckerstedt. And that's out off Krista Grava, and Amelia cannot believe it. But it'll stay with Rider. Bronx having their best offensive quarter, 14 points. After again just 8 in the first, 11 in the second. They're shooting 56% from the floor in this set of 10 minutes. Mobley, last second pass, kicked by Catrice Jackson. She was looking for Emily Strunk right under the basket.
Lineups like these are interesting for the Seahawks because you look at pure scores and there's really only one out there. Happens to be your best offensive player, so that works. But
Fireball missed and then commits an over the back foul against Jackson. That's 4 fouls now for Fireball. One of those brutal, you take it, you float it, you miss it, and then the player in front of you gets the rebound. You give her a light push, and you get called for your 4th. So she has to come out of the game.
You know what that's called, Keith? That's called a frustration foul. That's called a good score going 3 of 11 from the field.
There's Raven Pitt. Trying to put the moves on, working with Jackson. Final minute of the third quarter. Seahawks maintaining their lead. Wow, great block by Mobley. Stuffing Jackson. 5 seconds to shoot. And Schiffer comes away with it for Ryder. A lot of numbers. 55 throws it down low, and Schiffer's pass to Evans is out of bounds. Ryder cannot connect in transition to get a potential easy bucket after the turnover.
Schiffer's got to take a couple more dribbles there because she had Raven Pitt dropping a little too far back to prevent that pass. So you have to get as deep into the paint as possible.
Cowan's had a nice third quarter. 5 points for Alex Cowan in the third quarter. A takeaway for the Seahawks. And Pitt traveled. So once again, the Seahawks find themselves shooting 60% in the quarter, 15 points. Their offensive game has not been affected by Ryder's defense much at all today.
Keith, we were looking for that extra score in the Seahawks lineup, and at times this season, the UNH game, now this game as well, Cowan has looked pretty polished offensively.
6 seconds. Schiffer didn't want the three. Gets tripped on the way in. And now the whistle comes. Ryder fans can't believe it. A little bit of a late whistle, so you get that reaction. Sanchez Henry thought she got all ball. It's a foul on the floor, so with 3 seconds, Ryder will inbound. But you're absolutely right. Cowan missed all of last year. She had a great freshman season. You saw good stuff from her. And now she's back after a hiatus, hoping to be a big scorer, add some dynamic scoring ability to this team. Evans missed it all. So Ryder came out hot in the third quarter, but it is Wagner who edges the Bronx by a point, 15-14, to push the lead, 44-33. An 11-point cushion for the Seahawks, 10 minutes away from winning his 6th game in 7 tries. Terrell Coburn's team will draw it up and get back out there for the 4th after this on Front Row.
At Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
And experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
I'll reset it for you a little bit as we get into the 4th quarter. The Seahawks have shot 51% from the floor, have really picked their spots from the outside. 4 out of 5 from 3, 4 of 8 from the free throw line again. 44 points, just 10 assists on 18 made buckets for the Seahawks, but they have held Ryder to just 33%, 11 of 13, and you almost want to close your eyes at the three-point number Ryder's put forth today. 2 of 15. It's something that, you know, Wagner is 4th best in the country at three-point defense. Only Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana, which I always try to slip into the broadcast when I can. Ooey pooey. They're the best in the country, but Wagner is top 4, and they are making that number look even better today, holding Ryder to 13%. So the Seahawks 10 minutes away from a victory against the Max Ryder Bronx. Here's Marissa Sanchez Henry off the bench. Puts it up, puts it in. Right now, it looks like Terrell Coburn just calling out names down the line for buckets. Everybody's shooting well today.
Kind of have to go quarter by quarter. You talked about it, death by 1,000 cuts. It was Krista Gravel in that first quarter. And that last quarter was Thibault and Cowan combining for 11 of their 15.
Good switch from Ryder. That leads to a bucket for Lanasia Evans. Evans today has emerged with 9 points to lead Ryder on 4 of 11. Jackson trapped down low, looking for help, tries to pass out of it and travels. Maybe a little early in the quarter to use a timeout there. So Colburn will actually make pretty sizable changes. Thibault, Takahara, and Wabudu in, joining Cowan and Sanchez-Henry. Meanwhile, Evans, Eckerstadt, Schiffer, Toussaint, and Strunk, the 5 for Ryder.
This is one of those makeshift small ball lineups that Wagner can throw out there. Takahara is technically your power forward out there. She's 5'10".
Boy, Ryder, if they got that three-point line open just a crack, they could really make this a different game. And 0 for 4 in the third quarter. You look at Fireball, but she has to sit with 4 fouls. You look at Schiffer as your 3-point scorers. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Toussaint. And she's fouled with 3 seconds on the shot clock. So that's the first foul against the Seahawks. Fresh 20 for the Bronx. 11-point game. Here's Schiffer. 4 points today on 1 of 4. And a whistle and a 3-second violation called by Nikisha Thompson, the official on this side of the floor. Everybody has to kind of turn their head and take a look. 3-second violation behind the play. See how methodical the Seahawks are against the zone. Ten on the shot clock. Thibault goes to Takahara. Sanchez-Henry, good idea, but traveled, trying to cut her way to the baseline. Seahawks scoreless for a lot of this fourth quarter. 2 minutes gone by, 11-point lead. Ryder breaking some press. There's the mismatch. Eckerstadt no good on the jumper. Rebound to Wabudu. You had Sanchez-Henry guarding Eckerstadt. Now you have Thibault to Cowan. Beautiful transition basketball for the Wagner Seahawks. 13-point lead. Trying to climb back up. They had a 17-point advantage in the second quarter.
It is a scary sight seeing Zanea Thibault running at you on a fast break. You have no idea what she's going to do. You just know she's going to make the right decision.
Evans, stop, pop, and the foul. That's a big bucket for Ryder. Again, you've seen Toussaint have it a little bit. Fireball has struggled. Schiffer has struggled. Who will emerge? And in the fourth quarter, Evans has again popped her head up. Has 11 on 5 of 12. First double-digit scorer for the Bronx today. Looking to complete the three-point play. Already 1 of 2 from the line. And that's good. Right now, the max leading field goal shooter percentage-wise is carrying Ryder into the fourth quarter. 10-point game, 7 minutes to go. Wabudu looking for Takahara, threw it away. Thibault asking the officials for a tip. Looked like there was a little bit of a carom. Ryder's going to inbound the ball, hopefully. Wabudu almost had the steal. He got a 2-on-1. Eckerstadt looking for Toussaint. And the bigs trying to run the floor. Can't connect.
Oh, it's usually rewarding the bigs, them being on the receiving end. Again, for Eckerstadt, she's just got to take 1 or 2 more dribbles. Really force that defense into a bind and make them have to think about which way you're going to go.
Wabudu just hesitated enough. Schiffer has to get past Losanis. She does, and the foul. Couple of basket and foul hoop and harm setups for Ryder. There's enough time left in this game. They've just been playing from behind for so long, and every time they make a bucket or two, cut it to single digits, Wagner usually makes the right play to flick them away a little bit. So now Schiffer can make it a 7-point game with this make.
Now, there's no other way to put it outside of this offense is just making too many mistakes for Wagner right now and really allowing this Rider team back into it.
Good. Schiffer with 7 points. Now, while the three-point line has not really worked today, Rider has exploited the foul line, 11 of 14. It's a pretty good rate. A little bit less than 50% free throw rate today for Rider. It's kept him in the game. Losinese misses on the three, missed everything. And now a few misses in a row. 6-0 run for Rider. Now Mobley runs the floor and just a boatload of time. Inside for Toussaint. Haven't called her name in a while, and Toussaint draws the foul. And you can see Rider little by little making their way in the paint, trying to get fouled. That's the third foul against the Seahawks.
Well, Rider just has a lot more size out there. You talk about Toussaint being their lead player down low at 6 foot. They also have Emily Strunk out there at 6'2" and Victoria Toomey at 6'2", and second tallest player out there right now for Wagner's Kate Tokahara at 5'10".
Just kind of surprised Rider has taken this long to attack the paint even more. They've spread the floor nicely. And a timeout taken by Terrell Colburn. And we will take one, too. It's a 5-point game, Rider, the closest it's been in a while. Final 6 minutes after this on Front Row.
Wagner College, we have this beautiful campus where I get to know my professors and I make great friends.
I've gotten really involved in the local community, leading theater programs. At the same time, New York City surrounds us, so I can get internships at prestigious organizations, explore cultures from all over the world,
And experience just life as a city girl.
At Wagner, I learn by doing. It's practical. It's the Wagner plan.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Alongside Matthias Weilman, my name is Keith Rad on NEC Front Row. Seahawks at 5-1, Bronx at 2-5. They've won 2 games in a row after a slow start. And after a very, very slow game, Rider has closed it to a 5-point gap. The Seahawks have led the whole way, but it's the first, I guess the closest Rider's been since 10-5 of that first quarter.
It's been on Wagner, and the wheels have come off a little bit.
And they continue to come off as Evans takes it away from Krista Grava, knocks her pass down.
That's a 20th turnover. 11 of them have come in the second half for Wagner.
Right at Rider's defense. And in this fourth quarter, they are getting to the free throw line. In fact, they're 8 of 8 in the second half. Toomey trying to go there again. That's knocked away by Hayward and grabbed by Jackson. Seahawks force Rider into its 16th turnover.
All of this with Fireball on the bench as well with 4 fouls.
Losinese for Krista Grava. Tight reception, battling her way, kicks it to the perimeter for Hayward. Bible from the logo with 5. Z putting the moves on, buries it again. Zanea Thibault with another big jumper. I love Thibault's game, 4 of 5. So just perfectly picking her spots and knocking down the pretty ones. Mobley needs it. No good. 16 threes attempted today by Ryder. They have missed 14 of 16.
Thibault's done a much better job of picking her spots, like you said, and playing a cleaner game. Turnovers have been an issue so far this season, only 2 today.
And right on cue, Losinese is the one that coughs it up. And you mentioned it, those Wagner turnovers are adding up.
Not quite at the level we saw in that Manhattan game where we had 52 combined turnovers. You heard that correctly, 52 combined. Only 37 today, but it's been a lot of second half turnovers again for Wagner.
That is what really starts to separate you in this next stretch of non-conference games with a lot of Power 5 opponents. You cannot turn the ball over at this high a rate. 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Here's Toomey. Jackson takes away the entry pass, looking for Toussaint. Ryder is telegraphing their passes to the paint. And again, they're great when they get in there, get to the free throw line. We got to get in there first.
The problem is by the time that pass is coming in, there's 8 seconds.
Thibault just her second miss today and first from the outside. Hayward all over Mobley. Now Jackson on Mobley. Evans wants to take it herself. Blocked by Jackson. Catrice takes it away. Thibault, Losinese. No good, but a foul. And Losinese to go to the free throw line with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
There's no one else you'd want leading that fast break if you're Wagner outside of Z. I mean, she is so crafty. We've talked about her making the right decisions and being crafty and spreading out the defense. That time you have the 3-on-1. Little fake right and you go left.
6 points now for Losinese with that make. 6 points in 21 minutes today. Losinese just one made three. Now again, Wagner has not really needed that three-point line, but when they've gone to it, they've hit 4 of 7. Losinese checks out after hitting, and Cowan comes on the floor. Again, 3 minutes left, 9-point game. Seahawks have led the whole way. Ryder closed it to 5. Wagner did its best to get it right back up. Hayward all over Mobley. That can barely start your offense. Toomey, nice step through move. And a foul call. Grava called for a bump. EKG's first foul.
I think she got her going up a little bit. Toomey did a good job of not only spinning away, but kind of getting under EKG so that when she goes up, there's nowhere that Grava can go to try to block that shot without going through her.
Officials are going to talk about something here. So Toomey gets to the line. 3 points today. One made 2 and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And meanwhile, Fireball is still on the bench for Ryder. I guess it's only a matter of time to see when Lynn Milligan wants to put Fireball back in the game. But Ryder's looking good, but they need that extra three-point push. Toomey misses the first free throw. The lefty will try it again, and it's good. Well, Toomey checks out, and Eckerstedt checks back in. Nearly a taco frenzy in here, but
I was going to say.
I get it.
Fans seemed really into a missed free throw there.
Thibault to EKG. EKG to the bucket. That was just way too easy for the Seahawks. 10-point lead for Wagner.
If you're a rider and you want to press that high up, you need to be able to get back.
Schiffer with 15. Ryder is certainly a very patient offense. Here's Evans. 2 coming. 2 buried by Evans. She's got a game-high 14 on a timeout taken by Milligan. We're going to stay right here. It's a 30-second timeout. And I wonder if right now you'll see Milligan bring Fireball into the game. And there goes number 24 to the scorer's table to check in.
Yeah, it's kind of a balancing act. You know your team has gotten back in with her on the bench, and it's not like she's really held you back to this point. I know she hasn't necessarily shot well, but like you said, her shot creating and her ability to hit from beyond the arc and kind of get hot out of nowhere, be a fireball of sorts, is something that this team is going to need. 2:02 to go, 10 points down. Certainly a lot of time to get back into this one.
So Fireball's out there with Eckerstedt, Schiffer, Evans, and Toussaint. Seahawks bring Thibault, Losinese, EKG, Cowan, and Wabudu on the floor. Final 2 minutes. And a head-to-head that over the years has been all Ryder. Seahawks are just 8-14 against Ryder all time. These are different days for Terrell Colburn's Wagner Seahawks. Off the turnover, here come the Bronx. Evans hesitates and got fouled by Krista Graba. Seahawks have already committed too many, so Ryder in the bonus. 2 shots coming from Schiffer on the drive.
If I'm Ryder, I'm getting the ball into Lanesia Evans' hands every single time. I'd like to see her be a little more aggressive, honestly. She's shooting 55% from the floor, 14 points per game this season. And she's been really their most consistent source of offense today. Talk about 15 points. She's been really aggressive.
So Evans is at the line. First one good. This is the 20th free throw taken by Ryder today, and that one is cash. 16 for 20 for the Bronx. It is a 2-possession game with 1:38. There's Thibault walking her way over the timeline with 90 seconds left in regulation. Schiffer all over her and called for the easy hand check foul. Well, for Ryder, that is the 3rd team foul. Seahawks not shooting freebies just yet.
3rd team foul. Not shooting foul.
Seahawks in this 4th quarter have been outscored 15-10, trying to hold on. Krista Graba right up with it. A dozen today for EKG. .65 seconds left. Ryder's got to go quickly. They have climbed up the hill little by little. They got to make it all the way, but they're running out of time. Schiffer, no good. Fireball saws in to save it. Schiffer tries again. Good. 3rd made 3 for Ryder. They'll take another timeout. Again, it's 18 attempts, just 3 makes. You've got 1 or 2 more makes, and you got the lead or you're close to it.
You have 2 more makes, and you're up by 1 right now. I mean, again, it's always an interesting matchup. You have a Wagner team that we've talked about, top 5 in 3-point percentage allowed per game. And then you have a Ryder team that likes to hoist them, and they haven't necessarily hit at a crazy marker, only 25% from beyond the arc. But it's a Ryder team that, regardless of how it's going, is going to keep throwing them up. And it's a team that lives by shooters shoot, and right now it's kind of sink or swim for them.
So full timeout. Both teams will sit, catch their breaths for the final 45 seconds. Ryder's got to force some turnovers. The nice thing is that they have forced a lot of turnovers. The Seahawks have made 22 flubs today on the offensive side. And really neither team is scoring all that great. Less than a point per possession for both teams. The Seahawks at 54%. And then today for the free throw line, which is a spot they will inevitably find themselves in down the stretch, just 6 of 10. Free throw line today has helped Ryder out 16 of 20 to stay in this game. So coming up on the Ryder side, they will be home this weekend against Navy. Take on the midshipmen, and meanwhile the Seahawks will play St. John's Sunday at 2 o'clock right here. If you cannot make it out to Grimes Hill, we'll have it for you on NEC Front Row. It's the final home game until post-Christmas, when we open up conference play on December 29th. These are those non-conference setups right now for Wagner. They find themselves in a game that they led kind of the whole way. They've had the lead, and like they did against Manhattan, hoping to put it away in the final minute.
Yeah, and against Manhattan, it was their ability to, kind of hunker down, stop turning the ball over so much, and again, stop committing those mistakes. And on the other side, forcing Manhattan into those mistakes, because Manhattan in that fourth quarter, they had 6 turnovers before they got their first bucket. At that point, it was already a 6-point lead for Wagner, and they were able to hold on. Again, this is a good free throw shooting team. They went 7 of 8 in the second half. They're 70% shooter, but it's a Ryder team that regardless of them going 3 of 18, I'm sure that Terrell Coburn is telling his team, do not let them shoot the ball. It doesn't matter how much space they've had today, because they have just been letting them fly. If anything, you want them to take that 2-pointer and work from there. Cannot allow them to just shoot away from 3.
So here we go. 5-point game, under a minute left. Seahawks have had the lead since we started. Bible gets it into Cowan, and Cowan is fouled. Again, a few fouls to give. One more Ryder foul means the Seahawks are in the bonus and shooting free throws.
Interesting that Wabudu is out there as well, and not just putting out a 5 that can all make free throws at a high clip and switch.
Looking for Cowan on the inbound. There's the trap. Passes out of it, turns it over. Here comes Schiffer. Drop pass to Evans. And Evans got bumped. Bailed out, really. I mean, Ryder got exactly what they wanted. Trap. Don't foul. They get a turnover, and now they're shooting free throws to make it a 1-possession game.
That is the Cardinals' sin of winding down the clock. You cannot get trapped in the corner, because Cowan is getting double teamed. She can't go over half court, and she has the sideline right there.
No good on the first from Evans, who is 4 of 6. Again, the Ryder today, 80% from the charity stripe. They hadn't missed since the first quarter. 4-point game, 56-52. Cowan did not want to pass to Wabudu. She got fouled in the backcourt. She had her eyes up, thought about moving it ahead, but knew that Cam, like you said, it's not a good free throw shooter. And Cowan will take the walk. She'll shoot.
I understand you have her out there for that rebounding with the 2 bigs out there for Ryder. We're going to see here it's more of a switch-happy defense that's going to be coming out.
So Cowan, you tally it up for the year, as 11 for 17. Has to hit. Both would be nice if you're the Seahawks. He hits one of them. This one will take it to a 2-possession game, even more. You need a couple of threes if you're Ryder. Good. Cowan with ice in her veins in the final 30 seconds. Timeout taken by Ryder. We'll take.
It is a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. But if you're Ryder, I mean, you probably live in that same trap idea potentially. Pray that you get it to Kem Wabudu and get to hack her.
Absolutely, and that's why if you're TC, you bring in someone like Alex Cowan, who has really picked up her free throw shooting. Someone like Kiki Ballinger, who's more active, more mobile as a guard. And you have other players like Kate Takahara, who's been here for a while. She was an 89% free throw shooter a season ago. So it's players that you're bringing in that just give you no real outlet. Even someone like Catrice Jackson, 9 of 12 from the line. Jackson's a really good rebounder, really good post defender as well. So, you know, it's something that you unfortunately have to sit with if you're Kemwa Voodoo, and knowing that you gave your team everything they needed for the first 39 minutes, and then this last 30.5, you just got to take a seat.
On the inbound play, Mobley turned it over to Ballinger, and Evans goes crashing into the table. It's kind of effort that Rider is putting forth in this fourth quarter. Try to get the steals that they need to get the buckets they need to try to tie the game.
Pretty interesting. TC seems to have a trio that he puts out there for inbounds and another trio that he has for free throws.
Losanese, Christograva, Cowan, Thibault, Takahara. Not a foul. Or a steal. Schiffer ahead to Evans. Evans to the cup. And with 17 seconds, it's a 4-point game and a timeout taken by Wagner. These late game situations, Terrell Colburn just gotta be biting his nails if he wasn't trying to keep his composure on the sidelines. This is not a way you want to finish the final minute.
And this is the second straight game that things have gotten a little dicier than they should have, and it's not what we've seen for the first 4 games for the season for Wagner, because they've played ahead for the majority of those games outside of their lone loss, and they've been able to make their free throws. They've taken care of the ball, and they haven't committed those mistakes. But on that last possession, you know, you get it poked away on really nice active hands if you're Thibault. But even things as simple as not getting trapped in the corner, keeping the ball moving, not making, you know, dangerous passes, and just being safe with the ball is not something that we've really seen the first couple games of the season for Wagner. Honestly, a little surprising.
Things that you hope get sorted out during the non-conference before conference play, because when you get into conference play, every game's a rivalry game. Every game is like this, 58-54. Seahawks have been outscored in the second half, 35-29, trying to hold on and win the game. They have the ball with 17 seconds left, up by 4. Osanese playing keep away. There's Takahara. Ryder needs a foul. Finally, they do with 7 seconds came off the clock, and Thibault to the free throw line.
And there, it's something so simple as when Losanese catches it, because she's coming towards the inbounder, Thibault, but as soon as she catches it, she starts running. So she doesn't stop and then catch. She's running, catches on the run. That gives her kind of that momentum to start going, and then she moves immediately to the middle of the court. It's a lot harder to trap someone in the middle of the court than it is in one of the corners.
Thibault knocking him down. Riders today, one of their keys, keeping teams under 60. They've won every game under 60. They've lost every game where a team scores more than 60. It was one of those keys, and Wagner is right there at 60-54 with 10 seconds left. But really, Ryder, little by little, they played themselves into this situation where they a couple threes away from tying the game. Seahawks, you look at that halftime, 29-19. It's a completely different second half. Ryder has played worlds better than they did in the first half.
Absolutely, and Wagner, despite scoring at about the same marker than they did in that first half, looked a lot better in the first half than they did in the second. And if you're Ryder, you have to like the squad that you're coming out with. We talked about the skill that their bigs have. Rafaela Toussaint is a force to be reckoned with down low, and the guard play that they get from Michaela Fireball and Lanasia Evans and Amanda Mobley off the bench, someone who's experienced, who has played over 60 games in a Ryder uniform. This is a team that you would feel pretty comfortable with riding into the MAC tournament.
Mobley will inbound. Schiffer's out there. Fireball's out there. Evans is there too, but only Schiffer and Fireball have hit threes today. Evans with 10. Thibault fouls her on the way in. So with 5 seconds left, it's Evans at the line.
A little surprised to see Thibault even contesting there.
Agreed.
I like that she ran her off the three-point line, didn't even give her a little bit of space, glued right on her, but as soon as she gets into the paint, you just let her go.
So Evans with a game-high 19 points. He's had 4 steals. Again, the Riders did a nice job turning Wagner over today. 24 turnovers for the Seahawks. Evans now with 20. That makes it a 4-point game. Still 2 possessions. Losanis is fouled immediately by Schiffer, so she'll shoot. Schiffer commits her 4th foul. So now you're asking the freshman Losanis to knock down a couple free throws. She is 4 of 5 from the line in her infancy of her college career that is just beginning on Grimes Hill. 5'10" player from Latvia who can shoot from the outside. Okay, you'll take a player like that.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. First one is good. She has played like someone kind of a sophomore year caliber, just feels a little more comfortable. You can tell that a moment like this doesn't even faze her. 6-point game, 4 seconds to go. Evans got fouled with half a second left, crashing into Thibault, but this game is basically over.
I'm not sure why Thibault was even there.
Yeah, it's the second time in a row we're kind of questioning why. Last thing you want to do is stop the clock at all. Thibault definitely got pretty good on that play. Stumbling around as Evans drops in the first. 22 now for Evans.
If you're TC, you're happy to come away with a win, but a lot of things could have gone better today.
There's the inbound. That's the whistle. That's the game. Wagner beats Rider 62-58 on Reading Day at the Spiro Sports Center. A game that was a 10-point Wagner lead at half. They kind of dominated defensively. They had to hold on for dear life at the very end of the game, but they came away with it. And again, another tough out-of-conference test. Just keep tallying those victories.
Yeah, this is a good morale win for Wagner. This is a game where you didn't exactly play your best basketball. It's not often you see a team commit more turnovers. Other team steals the ball more points off turnovers, more points in the paint. I mean, second half, Rider played a lot better than Wagner did, but if you're Wagner, you're happy to come away with the win and move to 6-1.
And a lot of offense in the second half. Alex Cowan was part of the difference at 12 points to get the Seahawks going, and she's today's play of the game. Had that on a beautiful crossover earlier today. Play of the game presented by TicketSmarter. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like TicketSmarter. For sports, concerts, and theater events, visit TicketSmarter.com and download the app today. Alex Cowan, who has come back from an injured-plagued year last year. Nice little crossover, step back, had a dozen points. And again, talking about the turnovers, talking about loosening up defensively, but you need that maybe third scorer. And again, Wagner maybe hopes that it's Alex Cowan this year.
Cowan's had that consistency. She scored 4 more points in every game this season, but it's been kind of that up and down as she comes back from injury, gets reacclimated after a weird 2020 where you couldn't rehab the right way. This is a good game for Alex Cowan with her 12 points. She showed a little bit of it all. Facilitating, scoring from outside, and getting into the paint.
Seahawks get a win. They go to 6-1. Rider falls to 2-6, but Wagner continues now a 5-game winning streak. They'll be back here again on Sunday at 2 o'clock to take on the Big East St. John's. A battle of Staten Island versus Queens. We will see you then for our entire crew. For Matthias Wildman, my name is Keith Radd. Your final again, Wagner 62, Ryder 58. And as always, we'll see you at the next one.